Hey everyone, and welcome to A Nice Chianti. This is a Hangover minisode. We're talking about our Flesh Gordon episode that we put out. When did we put it out? Can you remember? Hello, Zoe.
Hello, I do exist.
I'm just diving right into it.
I know, just go for it, John. When did we record our Hangover episode? I think it was maybe like fucking ages ago. Huh?
I think we recorded it last year in 2019, and we didn't put it out for months and months. And it might have gone out in March, maybe. And we're recording this in May. So, yeah, we're going to get better at that, folks. But, yeah, welcome to the minisode. Zoe, cheers.
Cheers.
Got my little wine. You've got yours. Our backgrounds are messing with it, but cheers.
Yeah, but it's fine. What are you, what kind of wine are you drinking, John?
Oh, getting right to the business straight away. I am drinking, I don't know, listeners at home, we are experimenting with our first video recording. So this might be on YouTube, I'm not sure. I'll explain it as well, and maybe you can see the bottle. Oh, no, you can't.
It's like getting blurred. That's it. Now we can see it when it's in front of your face.
It's a Tempranillo and Petit Verdot blend.
Wow.
It's very nice. Organic bio red wine from La Mancha.
Wow, fancy. Mine is, and it's different than my usual wine because this one was on offer with, I must say, £4 worth of discount, which means it's basically like fancy for less. So I've got a Vinable. It's a Malbec from Touriga Nacional. Here we go. Can you see it?
I can. Oh, yeah, that looks like a fancy label.
And as you can see, as we record, anyone listening, you can't see, but this was full about an hour ago. Now we're about, halfway through that, because I thought it'd be a good idea to basically just drink it all.
Yeah, I've got a bit of catching up to do, actually.
You have? Yeah.
This is because everyone out there, you all know the world is on lockdown, so we can't do our usual in-person drinking that myself and Zoe like. So we're trying this over Skype, but I think it's going to be okay as long as the connection holds out. It should be fine.
Exactly. And today it seems like our connection's quite good, actually.
It does, because we did actually. We should come clean. We have already recorded a Hangover episode for Flesh Gordon. It was one of the first things that we did. We did it really early in the lockdown, and it was an absolute disaster. I think it was maybe my connection or maybe your. I don't know whose connection it was, but the sound that came out of it was unlistenable. It was unusable. Yeah. So we've trashed it.
Whatever happened, I mean, we struggled anyway when we were recording it. And to be fair, I think fate was saying that was wrong because do you remember I was in my I'm not drinking phase?
Yes, you were.
Completely. It was, it was fine, but horrendous for the podcast's sake. So this time, that's why I drank half a bottle of wine because I was like, yeah, Nice Chianti is meant to be us getting drunk and recording. So I think fate just brought it all together.
Yes, it did. It was the universe telling us, don't do these sober. Although really, I don't know if we should be doing the Hangover episode sober. It kind of feels like we should, but it doesn't matter because what we do is we record one of these as we're kind of getting oiled up to do our main episode. And we've got one lined up today. I think we should announce it at the end of the Hangover because this Hangover episode will go out first, and we could kind of announce what our next movie is, right?
We can indeed. So we can give some spoilers to what's coming next.
Yeah, but maybe we'll hold that until the end so that you have to listen to this dross until then.
They love the dross. They're here for the dross. They don't give a shit about our movie opinions. It's just for the lols, basically.
That's it. Okay, I have a question for you, Zoe. This is not a listener question, but I think this is a good thing to ask on a Hangover episode. Has your opinion of Flesh Gordon changed in the time period? Like, we've had a bit of time to think about it. What's your thoughts looking back on Flesh Gordon now, months later?
I mean, one, I can't even remember what my opinion was on Flesh Gordon, because I think when we recorded that, one, it was ages ago, and two, I think I was drunk, so I don't really remember it.
You definitely were drunk.
Yeah, exactly. So, but I feel like now looking back, I have fonder opinion. Like, it's still shit. Like, it's still shit. I can't say it's not. It's just shit. I mean, if it's porn, it's upsetting. Like, I'm not getting what I want out of that. However, all things considered, it's a fun movie. I might not watch it with my parents, which is fair enough. But I think, it's got it's a cult classic for a reason. It's got its own loves to it, and I think there could be more penis, less boobs, but our current theme is boobs. Just putting that out there. People will soon realize why boobs is the theme, or bum, either one. Female boobs, not male boobs. But yeah, I think it has fond memories, and it's a laugh. It's it shows for the time, and it is, I mean, and with a title like Flesh Gordon, I'll always remember so me and John, we, not now because I've moved work, but previously my work was very close to John's home. We're not going to give out addresses because I know everyone's going to come round, throw those pants again. But we worked and lived very closely, and one of my work colleagues, we showed her the DVD and she read the synopsis and she was like, wow, I love this and I hate this. This sounds amazing. And I think that just sums up Flesh Gordon, is you read the synopsis and you go, what the fuck is going on with this Dr. Wang and Flesh Gordon? It's, yeah. What about you, John? Same kind of vibes, or how are you feeling about it?
Well, I've got this nostalgic thing for Flesh Gordon just because of the story that I shared in the episode. And we should say that we shared the full. We haven't done this on any of our other episodes, but because we loved the back copy of that DVD so much, it's in the show notes. We copied the whole thing into the show notes for the episode, so anyone who wants to see it, to read it, can go and have a look. Yeah, I still think fondly of it, and I catch little glimpses of some of the artwork that I had in my laptop for some of the stuff that we shared on social and stuff like that, and it always reminds me. I'm really glad that we chose it and recorded an episode for it, because it's sort of been immortalized in our podcast feed, and it will always be there. So I'm very pleased. I have fond memories of it. I remember, like you, I don't really remember exactly what we said in the episode either, because we had been drinking quite a lot. But I think I remember that I gave it quite a surprisingly high score.
I feel like you might have given it even like a 4 or 5, which is maybe a little bit too much, but
Yeah, I mean, I was drunk on wine and love for this movie when I said that. I'm not going to necessarily give a new score, but maybe it was a little generous. But I have a lot of love for Flesh Gordon, despite its many, many flaws. And we should mention as well, if you're listening on just audio, you won't be able to enjoy this. But if you check out, I guess we'll upload this to our YouTube page, because I think we do have a YouTube account, because we've got an email, so we should be fine. But we have themed backgrounds for our webcams.
We're
rocking. Well, I'm in Wang the Perverted's lair, I guess. I can't remember what they called it.
You're hanging out in his lair with good old Wang, and I'm where the fuck am I? I'm in the spaceship with one of the women. I can't remember her name.
Oh, it's Dale Ardor. Come on, Zoe. Dale Ardor, Flexi Jerkoff, and Flesh Gordon.
And she's having her breasts groped. So my background is a woman having her breasts groped. I don't know what that says for feminism, whether it's a strong message or a weak one. But do you know what? I'm loving it. I'm loving talking, and literally on my shoulder is a woman getting her breast groped. You know, actually, if I kind of plan it right, it could be my hand. I mean, it's getting cut out a bit, but it's almost my hand touching her breasts, which is I'm having a lot of fun here. I've got no fingers, but I'm having a lot of fun.
And I feel a bit like a voyeur watching it.
Anyone listening, this is a mess, but you know, it just will make you'll listen to this and you'll be like, do you know what? I need to go and watch that video because I just want to see John in Wang's lair and Zoe groping breasts, right?
Yeah, and anyone who's listening to this episode is already kind of primed to hear just a mess or see a mess. So yeah, you're good. Yeah, I don't remember. I remember the scene, but I don't remember why Dale is getting her breasts fondled in that way. I think there was a reason given.
It doesn't matter. So I guess we have asked for, as part of this, we've asked for some questions.
Yes, we have.
We? And at this point, we are also going to go live on Instagram. We're going to do it all. We're wasted. We're not hungover. We're quite the opposite. And we're going to try and go live on Instagram and answer your questions live on air, on video, and just fuck shit up. That's how I'm kind of describing it. I think this is a fuck shit up episode.
Yeah, I mean, this is either going to be a big success or an absolute disaster. So we'll apologize in advance, but let's do it. I mean, we've got our questions from the listeners. Should we ask one of them while you're setting up? And then there's
I think I'm live now. I think I'm actually live. So when you can join when you want. I think we've got some viewers.
Oh, hold on, sorry.
Turn the sound right down, John.
Yeah, I have now. I've sent you.
Let's see how we go. So you're currently listening to me and John doing podcast whilst being live, whilst doing a video, whilst being absolute drunk cretins as always. So there we go. We're live together.
Oh, hold on. It's put up my volume again. Hold on. Sorry. Sorry, everyone listening along at home.
All right. There we go.
I've noticed a problem with this. Now that we're going live, I can't read the questions on my phone. So why don't you start?
Screenshot them. That is why I screenshot them, John. Nice. I thought about this. I do social media for my normal job, so I came to every possible conclusion. All right, so I'll kick off with some questions.
Please.
So let's see what we've got on the agenda. Starting from what was asked first, we have, well, that one's not really a question. It says, how weird can we go in terms of the questions?
As weird as you want is the answer.
That is the answer. All right, an actual question. John, do you ever have weird dreams?
Yes, I do have weird dreams. But what is the last? Yeah, I'm trying to think. I haven't had.
Tell me the weirdest dream you've had lately. Come on.
Can I throw the question back to you? Can I throw the question back to you slightly differently while I'm thinking about it?
Okay.
Because I think a lot of people, since we're in lockdown and quarantine, have you been having weirder dreams since we've gone under lockdown than before? Have you noticed like a difference?
Well, I've always had like really, really vivid dreams. Like I'm talking vivid to the point where I've woken up before and I genuinely don't know whether or not it's a dream or it's happened in real life. Like, they're very vivid. I wake up with the feelings and everything, and I can always remember my dreams as well. So I wake up and I'm like, what the fuck just happened? I think the only night during lockdown that I had weirder than normal dreams was when I ate, and they say this is a myth, but I think it's true. I had a shit ton of blue cheese before bed. And yeah, I mean, lately, dream wise, I'm trying to think like if there's a common theme. There's been a lot of sexual elements to them, not gonna lie.
This doesn't surprise me, viewers at home,
and I think it's
listeners.
just, maybe it's Flesh Gordon talking, maybe it's something else. But I think I've also had a lot of dreams where I'm like in a situation I don't want to be, which is maybe part of the lockdown. The weirdest dream I think I've had, and this actually is a reoccurring dream, which I think you'll like, John, because it's to do with sharks, and I've had this dream for years now, is where I'm walking along this plank on a swimming pool, and guess what little motherfucker is down below? Jaws. Little cunt is just there, chilling out, and I have to get across this plank, which is like this ridiculously small plank, and I always manage to do it, but it's terrifying and weird as fuck. And then I think there's like flying shit afterwards, and yeah, I mean, I could do an entire podcast by itself on the weird shit dreams I have, but that's one of them.
Okay, I was trying to think as you were saying that while also listening. By the way, the shark's name is not Jaws, it's Bruce. Bruce is the shark's name in Jaws.
We fucking go.
But all my weird dreams, and I don't have a specific one, unfortunately. I wish I had one last night, but if I did, I don't remember it. They all like revolve around really weird locations. I think that's the theme of my weird dreams. So
what location?
Like it's always going to be a huge, like impossibly huge building with like corridors and tunnels and secret passageways, like big hotels and castles and things like that. I seem to have a lot of recurring dreams that take place in weird places, and it's generally me running around, maybe getting chased, maybe trying to find something, maybe looking for someone. That's probably it. But I haven't had I'll answer my own question. I haven't had any. I don't think the quality of my dreams has changed very much, and I don't have great dream recall. Like it's. I think that's why my answer is not that good, because I remember bits of it, and they don't always go together. I remember moments, I remember places, and I don't necessarily remember situations. But yeah, I have weird dreams. What you can do I got really interested in vivid dreaming. Is it vivid? Is that what it's called? Lucid dreaming, not vivid dreaming. Yeah. Oh, God, this wine is going to my head. Lucid dreaming. Thank you. And what you can do, because recalling your dreams is like a learnable skill, supposedly.
Oh,
so
okay.
It's not something
without knowing.
Yeah, it's not something that you're just, if you're not particularly good at it right now, it doesn't mean you always won't be particularly good at it. So what you can do is you can start, one of the advice and one of the first steps if you want to learn lucid dreaming, which I've never attempted to do, but I was speaking to someone about it in the pub one time, and you start with a dream journal, and you start like immediately when you wake up, you're supposed to go to your bedside table or whatever, where your notepad is, and write down everything you can. And if you keep on doing that night after night or morning after morning, and you will get better at it. It's like a learnable skill you can improve. So maybe I should do that, and then I'll be a little bit better.
That's a new challenge to us, John, is to teach ourselves lucid dreaming and then meet the shadow people that happen when you get that, I don't know what it's called, but when you're like locked down and you're...
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah,
like the night terror type things.
Yeah, let's get ourselves some night terrors up in here.
That sounds like a great idea. Let's do it.
All right. Next question. And I love this question. What's your favourite biscuit to dunk in tea?
A McVitie's Digestive. Is that boring?
Is it plain?
Yeah.
Bam, my favourite biscuit. Right there, nail on the head.
Oh my God, who would have thought we had so much in common? We have the
I
same
know.
biscuit answer? Is that your answer to this question as well?
My favourite biscuit is a plain digestive because it's delicious, it's not overbearing, it's friendly, it has a good texture and a good taste. But to dunk in a tea, I have to go for the classic of a rich tea.
Oh no.
It just complements a cup of tea. It does, but you have to be careful. You can't dunk a rich tea for too long. It's a scary kind of process.
You can't dunk a digestive for too long either. I would say like 2 to 3
got a bit
seconds is
longer.
all you've got.
You've got slightly longer on a digestive than you have a rich tea, because a rich tea is very delicate. It's a delicate makeup of a tea, a biscuit.
But see if you, well, we're in agreement. Like, well, I'm not in agreement with rich tea. I can't, you know, that's your thing. I'm not interested in rich teas at all. I'm glad that we're in agreement about digestives, but there is another angle that you can take, which is quite interesting. I have like a fly in this room for some reason, so you might hear that on the podcast. I'm not sure. If you get like something like a chocolate biscuit, if you bite both ends off, you can use it like a straw in a cup of tea.
I'm not into that, John.
No,
That's not my kind of thing.
That's a bit too fruity for you, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, we've got another question. I've zoomed in on my screen. It's hard to see. What's the best movie involving a spider?
Okay.
I can answer this first.
Go for it.
There is no movie involving a spider that is remotely fucking best or good or anything. Spiders are, and I have recently been watching some sci-fi horrors. Seen before. I mean, common theme of them. All of the horror are spiders, because spiders are the devil's work. That ends that. There's no good movie or little cretins that are the worst in the world. So there we go. That's the end of that discussion.
There we go. I don't know if the listeners at home got the same connection problems there, but you did break up quite a lot for me with that answer. So maybe I might, just as a test to see if it improves mine, I might have to drop off the Instagram live. I'm not sure if it's my connection or not. So I'm sorry, everyone. Thank you for everyone who watched along live. I'm going to drop out. And we'll see if that makes a bit of a difference. Can you hear me at all, Zoe? Oh dear.
Myself, I'm waiting for John to come back, and I'm not sure he's going to come back.
Oh, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Oh, now I can.
Awesome. It was.
Now you're back. Now you're back in the room.
Good. I had to drop out of the Instagram live because I don't know. It shouldn't have made a difference to my connection, but I tried it. So I'm out of the Instagram live now.
Okay. John is officially out of the Instagram live. We continue with the show as planned because, of course. All right, let's do the spider question because I've answered that, and we don't need to talk about spiders because they're the work. They're Satan's life, Satan's work. So the next question is, here we go. Pick a horror movie death scene that you would like to be your imaginary death.
Oh, okay. That went in a different direction just at the end there. I was going to
like to die.
Yeah, I was going to say when I just thought it was like favorite death scene, and I can show you. This is going to require a prop. So give me 1 second.
Okay.
This is for the videos, but I'll explain what I'm doing. I'm taking off my headphones, and on this hat,
Oh, here we go. We've got Day of the Dead hat.
A Day of the Dead hat. My favorite zombie film of all time, Romero's Day of the Dead, and in it, Captain Rhodes, played by Joe Pilato. I think his death is potentially the best on-screen death in cinema.
And for those of us who haven't seen the death, I feel
Is
like I have, but just for the listeners.
he's a really despicable character in it, and spoilers for Day of the Dead, I guess. He meets a grisly end, where they're running through like the military base at the end, and he opens a door and discovers a whole wall of zombies that proceed to like rip him in half while on the ground, and while they're pulling away his legs with guts trailing, he screams, choke on him," as he like fades and dies. And it's probably the best. However, that's not necessarily the one that I want to have, because the question went in that direction towards the end.
Yeah, I'm not sure that you want to have that death, John.
I'm gonna say this is going to come back to talking about sharks again. But I always thought when I was young, this is a weird thing to say, and perhaps an insensitive thing to say. So I apologize for anyone who has been attacked by a shark. But you see like people who have been attacked by sharks, they've got like that bite scar on their midriff. You might have seen it like
you want the big bite here, like, yeah.
Yeah, I always thought that was such a cool scar to have. Now, if it's a death, then I would have to die, and I wouldn't get the scar. But let's say, well, Quint's death in Jaws is pretty awesome. So I'm gonna take that. He gets bitten in half by Bruce and pulled out to sea, but he gets a couple of good stabs in with a machete. So yeah, Quint's death in Jaws.
It's a good death. I think for me, anything that involves me becoming a little pet corpse to some deranged man afterwards, I'm going to take it.
Oh God!
And I'm sure I'm going to get a flood of weird as fuck DMs later, being like, "I knew you were into necrophilia for real," but yeah, I don't mind being decapitated and used as a little fuckhead. Like, don't kill me for no sake. Like, at least use me and make sure I'm useful after death as well. So yeah, I'm putting it out there.
Yeah, there's Zoe spreading the positive message of recycling here on A Nice Chianti. I think that you're doing.
All about sustainability. I'm about having a body and making sure it's used in life and after death. Don't just throw me away like garbage. Keep me around.
Yeah, some people just have a donor card. Zoe has plans way beyond donor card.
Have plans. All right, next question. Do you ever fantasize marrying or being with a horror character? I mean, I don't even really have to answer this because it's kind of obvious. But John, you go first, and then I'll give my very obvious answer.
Yeah, I mean, like it's gonna be. Well, you probably know who I'm gonna say as well, right? The actress.
Mm-hmm.
Do you? And I know who you're going to say. So how about you answer for me and I'll answer for you, because I know who your answer is. You know who the actor is and I know who your actor is. Maybe not roles, but mine has been in a horror movie and so is yours. So
I think your actress might be, and I can never remember her first name, but I think the actress might be Daddario.
Yes, indeed, Alexandra Daddario.
And I'm sure it's all face.
Of course. It's her personality, of course. I have lost you again somewhat. Listeners at home, I don't know if it's me that's causing the problem, if it's my connection, or if it's Zoe's connection. If you can still hear me, great. If you can't hear me, hopefully Zoe is filling the air right now until I come back. It will happen. There she is.
Still on live. John's here again.
Hey,
Someone
hey.
asked, have you more A Nice Chianti episodes planned? Yes, we have. That's what we're trying to record now. John says it's me and my internet. I say it's John and his internet, so who knows? It's one of us. That's what happens when you do podcasts and you drink at the same time. It goes to shit.
Yeah, it's going to be, something's going to go wrong. And you know what? We can deal with a bad internet connection because we can just, restart it. It's fine. We're restarting. We're recording again now. So who cares? We'll just bolt the two recordings together. It'll be fine. No one will even notice.
All right. We'll just edit it. So do we want to pick up where we left off? You last said that who you want to marry is Dar, whatever her name is. A couple of people have said since then that other than Dardario, they would quite like. Mal said Ali Larter or Drew Barrymore in Scream.
Oh, wow. Okay. Different strokes for different folks. No judgment here. That's, yeah, I'll stick with my choice. And I think we all know what your choice is, Zoe, right?
Who would be my potential choice of marrying as a horror character?
Well, I'm going to guess, if you want to specify the character, I was just going to say the actor, but if I want to say the character, it's probably Hannibal, right? The Mads Mikkelsen Hannibal.
What a surprise. Who, if coronavirus hadn't come along and fucked up everything, I would have met Mads Mikkelsen by now at a Hannibal convention, and I haven't. So, fuck coronavirus for ruining my hopes and dreams of meeting my true life hero, Hannibal.
You know what? Coronavirus has also stopped me from meeting a horror icon as well, believe it or not. Because Leicester HorrorCon was going to happen in March and it got cancelled because it got cancelled because of coronavirus. That was when it was all kicking off. And I was going to go there purely to meet, in the hope of meeting. There wasn't like a meet and greet thing or anything, but I was hoping to meet Emily Booth. She was going to be in attendance. And
I think a lot of people love Emily Booth. She's Emily Booth is quite the horror icon, right? Wasn't she in porn or something as well? Or
no, she was in a movie. Her first movie was a film called Perverilla, which actually, this is a very good segue, actually, because after we released the Flesh Gordon episode, someone on Twitter, I'm sorry, I don't remember who it was, suggested that that Perverilla was inspired most likely by Flesh Gordon, and I agree, it probably was. It's also a kind of sex spoof comedy type thing made in, I guess, the 90s, early 90s, something like that. And it stars Emily Booth in the title character of Perverilla, and it's like a Cinderella story. I saw it years and years ago. I don't remember it, but that was something that was some feedback, early feedback we got from our Flesh Gordon episode.
Wow, it sounds riveting. I'm sure I'll be the first person to be checking that out. All right.
I believe the Twitter user in question maybe even went on to suggest that we should record it as part of Chianti, and I was not opposed to this idea. But let's not, we've had some kind of smutty content. We've got some more lined up for the next episode. We should probably dial back on the filth for a little while.
Yeah, let's dial back on the filth. So we've got 6 more questions, John. All apparently very weird. So
goodness, 6 questions. Okay, let's do it.
4, sorry. I've gone over and above 4. So, and this is probably not going to apply to you, just me. But I'll ask you anyway. What's the sickest film that has turned you on? And actually, you watched that Centipede thing the other day, so who knows? It might have worked for you.
Let me have a little think. It wasn't the film that Zoe is talking about was the 1975, something like that. Hong Kong black magic insect horror, which is called Centipede Horror. It did not turn me on. That film did not turn me on. Oh, the sickest.
It's a bit of an uncomfortable question, isn't it?
I'm not opposed to uncomfortable questions. I just want to have a decent answer, but it takes me a little minute to have a think. I don't watch all the kind of weird, sick stuff as much as Zoe does. I'm certainly not an authority on it in the same way that she is. What's your answer? And I'll get a couple of seconds to think.
That's a good question. And I don't really like answering questions like this. I think, in all honesty, it's been a while since a sick film, has turned me on. I think I would say one of the only ones that does is Straw Dogs, due to and I'm going to say Straw Dogs remake, and that's because it stars what's he called, Alexandra Skarsgård as a very, very nasty person. My phone's gone dead, so that's off, so that's good. A very, very nasty person he stars as, but he's just very beautiful in that role. So, I guess Hannibal, we can put that in there for sure. I think the other one was potentially, and this is quite messed up, was Bloodshot, American Guinea Pig Bloodshot. There's a scene at the end with a couple that are kind of making out and they're completely covered in blood, and they start having sex completely covered in blood, and I don't know, there's something quite romantic about it in the way that it's shot. I don't know whether turned on is the right terminology, but I wasn't opposed to it, so yeah, probably that one.
That's a good answer. Yeah, I think this is what's throwing me off a little bit. Is like fully turned on. I'm not sure if like the weird sick movies do, but there are certainly images that kind of make that kind of scratch a particular itch or tickle you in the right place sometimes. Like when you're talking about like someone totally covered in blood. I seem to remember there's quite a sexy blood kind of scene in. It's not. I don't know if it counts as extreme. It's not really extreme. It's maybe extreme for my taste. Like Hostel 2, when she's like bathing under the blood of someone.
That's how. When I get a big house, when I get a bath, that is the first shit I'm doing.
So that'll do. That's my answer. I'm sure there's a better one, and if I come up with one, I'll answer it on Twitter. But on the spot, that popped into my head. What's our next question? In fact, I've got a question.
Okay, go on.
I've got two questions.
Good.
I can't look it up. One we got on Twitter. Oh, actually, maybe you've got the Twitter one. Do you? Someone asked us if we would consider doing an episode for the sequel to Flesh Gordon 2. So that might be in your list.
That is not in my list because my phone's dead and I didn't check Twitter. But I'm up for Flesh Gordon 2. I mean, it can only get better or worse, right? 2 options.
Yeah. Well, yeah, there you go. There's your answer. I'm definitely up for it. Flesh Gordon 2. I don't know much about it. I've never seen it. I think it was made decades after the first one. I think it was like made in the 90s or something. I don't know if anyone who was involved in the first one is involved in the sequel, but there is a second one, and we'll see if we can track down a copy. And if we can, then I see no reason why we won't record one. Okay, this is the only question that I have that you will not have. Is there a film that we both cannot agree on liking? Something that one of us loves, but the other one hates? it's a little bit tricky because it requires some teamwork on this one. I have an idea, maybe, but you might remember some chats that we've had. Has there ever been a big disagreement between us on a movie?
I feel like perhaps there's a couple of classics that we might not fully agree on. Sorry,
There's
my cat's distracting me because in the background he's licking things and I can hear him, and he's ferociously licking a plate over there, which is going to make him have an upset stomach. I have a feeling that me and you have disagreed on a couple of like classic slashers, horrors that we don't like. First one comes to mind is perhaps Scream.
okay, and I think Scream's fine. I don't know if we've ever spoken about Scream. I thought you were going to say a non-horror movie. I thought you were going to say 2001: A Space Odyssey.
Oh, well, yeah, I just don't talk about that because it gives me grief.
Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. Fair enough. I like Scream. It's okay. I was thinking
Okay, we're aligned.
when I was thinking about this question, I think we disagree. I don't know if we disagree in so much as like one of us loves it and the other hates it, but we do disagree on Joker.
We do, yeah. I really liked Joker, and I know that you were not a fan of Joker, which I think, to be honest, is quite. I don't think it's surprising. Like, I think everyone I've spoken to is either for or against it. Like, it's not like a middle ground kind of movie.
Yeah, I think that's the one. I think, yeah, as Zoe says, she likes it. I do not. I don't know if I would go so far as to say I hate Joker. I don't hate it. I think that there are good elements about it, but it's not. Yeah, there's a lot I could say about Joker, but we definitely disagree on that one. So that's my only question that I have that you won't have in your list. So yeah, go ahead. And this minisode is becoming a full episode now. So, but we can let's fire.
We'll cut half of this out. It's fine. All right. I actually only have one last question for you because the other questions they kind of suck.
But we appreciate them. Thank you.
We do appreciate them, but they suck. So last question for you, and I think you'll quite like this one. What type of fish would you like to be?
This one requires some thought.
Fishes, and if anyone can hear weird noises, it's me snacking.
Yeah, there's some golden rules of podcasting. One of them is probably don't drink wine as you're doing it. The other, like, don't snack. Try and do it in a quiet room. We are doing this one just by the seat of our pants, basically. So don't.
I'm drinking wine. I've got two cats here who one looks about like she's going to come up and destroy the podcast, and I have snacks, noisy snacks. So yeah. I'm
gonna say, in answer to the fish question, I'm not gonna go down the shark route because shark's not really a fish, so that's not gonna work. So I am actually gonna choose a fish. And I think I always thought one of the most kind of rock and roll looking fishes was a carp. No, is it a carp? Oh shit, I'm gonna have to look. I feel like they're the ones with like teeth, right?
Are you thinking of a piranha?
No, I'm not thinking of a piranha. Oh no, I'm not thinking of a carp either. God, what is it? Hold on. Teeth. It's not a piranha. Although a piranha would be rock and roll, actually, now that you're talking about it.
Well, I guess I'm going to answer, and I'm going to say a blobfish. And anyone that doesn't know what a blobfish is, a blobfish is this little grey, fat, blobby thing that lives on the bottom of the sea and really ugly and kind of looks like an upset middle-aged man. And the reason I would be him is because Sean Ray in year 8 told me and the rest of the school that I was a blobfish. So my fate was decided for me a long time ago. Thank you, Sean Ray. I am a blobfish.
Wow. Yeah, mine is not a carp. I've Google imaged a carp, and that is absolutely not it. I'm gonna just change it up just from one that I've seen because it looks absolutely horrendous, which is a sheep's head fish. So you will have to Google that, ladies and gentlemen.
What the fuck is that?
It's really, really quite disturbing. It's got like, I think it's one of those. It has teeth that run all the way back into its throat, and
Oh, Jesus Christ, John, that's horrible.
it's really horrible. It's really horrible.
Oh,
But I just want people.
it does look like a zebra, but no, it's got human teeth. All right, anyone listening, please don't Google that because John's just scarred you for life. I apologise.
Yeah. It's got that. There you go. So there's my fish. I don't know what I was thinking of. Oh, you know what I was thinking of? I know what it was. It wasn't a carp. It was a pike. Is a pike a fish?
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me just check if that's what it was. Yeah, pikes are like, they've got big, gnarly jaw, like they've got teeth as well. Yeah, I'm going to say it. Yeah, it's one of those. I've given you lots of fish to look at, so there you go. That's it. And my knowledge of fish is not as good as my knowledge of sharks, so apologies.
Well, I guess that brings us to the end of our hangover episode. That also might be another mess.
Probably. Never mind.
It's fine.
Do you want to announce what our next main episode is?
Of course. So continuing on the theme of absolute smut and I would say depravity, but I'm not even sure it's depraved. It's just, well, we'll talk about next episode, is, of course, the renowned Verotica.
Dun, dun, dun. Verotica.
Honestly, I'm not, well, I'm not going to say anything more till next episode, but yeah, it is what it is. It's Verotica.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want the listeners at home to know that I tried to talk her out of it, but we are going to be discussing Verotica. If you would like to hear more of this mess, our website is anicechianti.com. Our social channels are A Nice Chianti Pod, at A Nice Chianti Pod, I think.
It does.
Yeah, I don't sound too sure.
I'm going to tell.
A Nice Chianti Pod on Twitter and Instagram. Zoe is checking, although she's breaking up a little bit for me.
Am I telling you? I'm on the Wi-Fi again.
If you can find it. If not, I think it is A Nice Chianti Pod.
Just, no one else has got that. We are the only ones. We are superior.
Yeah. So you can follow us if you like. We're going to be on YouTube after this. I don't know if anyone will want to watch the video of this, but there you go. I have been John Crinan because I don't think we did our intros at the start, so apologies. These are a mess, these episodes. You're beginning to learn this. And my co-host, as always, is the legendary and wonderful Zobo with a shotgun. And this has been our Hangover episode for Flesh Gordon. Thank you for listening.
Bye.